14 fourth quarter points for the Aggies. They broke it open. 33-15 they lead, and both touchdowns by Jamar Toombs. Off the interception, 48-yard drive, Sammy Davis with the pick.
Nice mouthpiece. I like it. That's not a good spot for it.
Not going to do him a lot of good up there.
No. He's growing teeth from his skull or something.
Cody skates to kick off. Francis 3 yards deep. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at our BMW game summary. Kingsbury's had a pretty good day throwing the football. Baker's had a good day catching it. Aaron Glenn, or his little brother Jason Glenn's been all over the place. But Dave, it's been a day of missed opportunities.
The 2 interceptions have been painful here down the stretch. He had 7 interceptions coming in and 7 touchdowns. So now he's 9 apiece. Kingsbury is, and yeah, it's basically been the turnovers and points off of turnovers. There's the ball game. A&M's got 20 points off of the 3 tech giveaways, and basically, you know, you look at the block punt as a touchdown off of that as well. It's been just given to A&M on a platter by Texas Tech miscue and misfortune.
Dead ball, personal foul on Texas Tech, half the distance, first down.
Now frustration starting to set in for Texas Tech. The Red Raiders are not happy, and understandably so.
No, but I think we've learned a couple of things today. One of the questions coming in were the Texas Tech Red Raiders for real 4-0 start, but they hadn't played anybody that you would consider a top-flight opponent, with all due respect to their first 4 opponents.
Right.
But I think we've learned today Texas Tech's a good football team.
Defensively, they're going to match up with a lot of people with that speed they have.
And their offense looks better. Kingsbury lost the football. And Rex Richards covered it up 72.
Yes, he did.
And the other question coming in, how good were the Aggies? They lost their opener in South Bend, 24-10.
To a legit football team, Notre Dame has proven themselves to be the real deal.
And then they handily knocked off Wyoming and Texas El Paso here in this stadium, though UTEP gave the Aggies a tussle for 3 quarters. And I think we're finding that the Aggies will probably be among the nation's elite before long.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them ranked after this football game, depending on the outcome. Erickson checks out. He got up very slowly, the big left tackle for Texas Tech. He gets off the field under his own power, though, but he's hurting on the sideline.
Kingsbury gives to Ricky Williams, and he runs it out to the 11-yard line. Clock winding inside 4:35. Part of the problem with the polls is the folks in the East, the folks in the West, anybody who didn't catch this football game, they just look at scores.
Oh, exactly. And they don't look at the reason for the scores. And scores can somehow be deceptive.
Down and 12. Slant to Baker, and he'll have a first down to the 25. 7th catch of the ball game for Baker. Let's take a look at our Dr. Pepper Big 12 player of this game.
And he had a good one.
Jason Glenn.
Yeah, the tackles for loss, they're all equivalent to quarterback sacks because you're taking the opponent off schedule. 8 tackles and almost 50% of them on the other side of the line of scrimmage. That's production.
I thought he set the tone early defensively.
Yep.
Kingsbury lost the football, and again it's Rex Richards falling on it. Royland Bradley off the edge with another sack.
Yep, sack and punch the ball out. And I'll tell you that twice in this possession, Kingsbury has lost control of the football. Ball security in the pocket is a key. And Bradley separates him from the pigskin, but that's 2 recoveries for Rex. Rex Richards is finding himself in the right spot to fall in the pigskin at right tackle.
4th sack of the day for the Aggies. Here's a screen, and Bodovich takes a bite out of Mickey Peters. Hey, what, Bodovich was a quarterback at Texas A&M Kingsville, transferred, put on the big shoulder pads, and he knows how to use them.
Yeah, he's making sure they still fit right after that hit. May have shortened his neck a little bit, but he enjoyed the contact.
what a catch by Jones. With one hand, Darryl Jones pulls it in.
Boy, fingertip shot. Kingsbury, I think he took another shot in the pocket. Gamble came on the blitz. I'll tell you, A&M has blitzed. I don't know what the percentage of the ratio is, but the number of times that they blitzed and hit Kingsbury. Kingsbury's definitely in the jacuzzi tomorrow. His body's got to be sore, but he gets rid of the ball, and look at that right hand out there, secure it, bring it to the body. What a play on both ends. Quarterback courageous and good throw. Receiver finishing it off for him. Nice.
Far easier to count how many times Texas A&M has not blitzed. Kingsbury throws a buddy pass to Ricky Williams, and he takes a lick.
I think you may have holding on Texas Tech, Drew.
Yeah, Jonte Buell's the one who threw his weight around, but it's coming back anyhow.
Well, they're going to call a face mask. What happened in protection, Texas Tech got the hand up in the face gear. I think it might be called on the left guard, Lance Williams, 67 for Texas Tech. I think he may have been the one that got his hand up in the headgear in pass protection, I believe. And you can jam people, you can hit them in the chest, but you can't get up in the face mask or up in the head area.
Personal foul, face mask on the offense, 15 from the previous spot.
Well, while we have a moment, we'll tell you the executive producers of College Football Saturday, Arthur Smith and Bill Borson. The coordinating producers, Roy Hamilton and Gary Garcia. Today's game has been produced by Bob Steinfeld, directed by Ken Miller. The associate producer, Daniel Ashcraft. And our Vice President of Field Operations, Andrea Jenkins.
What a crew we have. Gave us some good stuff today, boy. Pictures, stats, you name it, they had it for us.
And they gave you a couple burgers at halftime.
Oh, I'll tell you what, the Sonic burgers were very strong.
All-out blitz, Kingsbury lit up again. This time it's Bordovich, and Kingsbury still getting up.
Boy, it's been an aggressive mentality for the Aggie defense all day long. They've been very, very successful. Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator, has decided to come after them, and A&M has gotten home with regularity. Kingsbury, I think it's easier to count the number of times he was remaining upright after throwing the football. If he wasn't sacked, he was knocked on his posterior unceremoniously often.
2nd and 25. That's incomplete, but I believe the Aggies were offside.
Yeah, I think the center quick snapped that one a little bit too. I think he saw him jump in the neutral zone, and Cecil decided to snap it while they were in there.
Let's revisit your keys to the game, Dave, for Texas A&M, see how they graded out.
Well, they wanted to get after it, and 4 tackles, 11 tackles for loss for Texas Tech. They wanted to avoid that. Texas Tech was pretty strong there. Time of possession, they didn't control the football like they wanted to. And Tech, 10.1 yards per completion. It's not that much in that area either.
Now it's 2nd and 20. Most importantly, there's only 1:54 left, and the Red Raiders trail by 18. The winning streak at home for Texas A&M will extend to 22 games. 3rd best in the land. Into coverage. Flags fly, and the pass was dropped by Sammy Davis, hunting for his 2nd interception. Again, Kingsbury takes a shot in the chops.
An illegal man downfield for Texas Tech. One of the offensive linemen got past the line of scrimmage before the ball was released.
Well, I think Kingsbury's going to say, hey, you might want to help out blocking and saving me some more bumps and bruises.
No question.
A lot of flags here late in the football game.
An eligible receiver, downfield, declined, 3rd down.
It'll be 3rd and 20. Tech's keys to the game, Dave?
Well, Texas Tech, they didn't want to self-destruct, and they did a little bit. Francis dropped that touchdown pass. I mean, that was a big play opportunity that didn't present itself. And they did kind of go for it on 4th down. They made some calculated risks, some calculated gambles, but a couple of them blew up in their face. this football game.
They need the 17-yard line. Again, a sellout blitz. Complete to Baker, and he's erased about the 31-yard line. Michael Jamison, the free safety, the first to arrive. So now it's 4th down. Clock moving inside, 1.5 left. This was a great football game for 50-plus minutes.
Baker, grass stain, bad shoulder. He's a little sore now, too.
Kingsbury on 4th down. Sean Williams the catch, but he's out of bounds. And Texas A&M will take over on downs. And here comes 83,000 saluting their Aggies.
And most of them in the house. Not a whole lot of left. This was a very good football game, and this is a rivalry.
And we didn't go last night. We've come down here for a half a dozen years, Dave, and to me the most amazing part of their tradition is Friday night at midnight when about 50,000 show up to practice.
The yell practice.
The yell practice, their cheers.
It is unbelievable. And I'm sure they had this place pretty well packed last night in anticipation of the battle today. And the reason this is a rivalry is both teams are winning. You know, if one team's dominating, it's not a rivalry. But when both teams are winning with regularity, now you got yourself a little rivalry going.
Barrett's still in there looking to throw the football, and here's Weber. Boy, Weber, when he lowers those shoulder pads, you want to make sure yours are lower than his.
Yeah, he definitely will thump you. He's not afraid of the contact. He's not a big make you miss guy.
They got a nice running back combination. Weber's a sophomore, 6 foot, about 230, and Whitaker 5'10", about 200, a redshirt freshman.
Working on their attack offense still, spreading that field.
Jamar Toombs, chance to catch it, and he runs through Dorian Pitts and drags him for 10 yards. Not many people do that.
Well, I think the big guy, Cassera, got held, and they got a little altercation going on out in the open field. But Cassera got held. It's going to be 10 yards holding penalty at best against A&M, and then we'll see how the other flags sort out if they offset or not. But there definitely was a hold in the middle on A&M.
In the middle of that was Robert Ferguson and Antoine Alexander, in the middle of the skirmish at midfield. Tom Allers has had to spend half his day in conference.
Tom called the hold. I think it came out of his pocket. Cassera got grabbed big time up the middle in the pass rush.
Well, he emptied all his ammo, Dave. Look at his pockets. Nothing left.
Yeah, he's clean. All the laundry's in the laundry basket.
This is like
I hate these conferences.
The Summit of 8.
Yeah, I hate these conferences.
We have a live ball and a dead ball penalty. The live ball was a holding by the offense 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Subsequent to that, we have a dead ball, personal foul on the defense. 15 yards from the spot after the 10 yards is measured, and it'll be Texas A&M's ball.
So just move it up 5 yards from A&M's original line of scrimmage instead of going back and forth, which they did. A&M picks up 5 yards on the penalty exchange and play ball.
I often wondered why they did that. Walk one way 50,
Really?
the other way 10. Texas A&M, here's what's on the menu for them. They got a tough one next week against a very good 0-3 team in Colorado. Colorado is a tough one this week again at home against Kansas State. Then they travel to Waco and Ames, Iowa. That won't be a cakewalk in Ames, Iowa. And then Kansas State, 5th ranked, comes visiting. That's what they have in the month of October. So we'll find out just how strong the Aggies are in the next 4 weeks. And for Texas Tech, here's what they have upcoming. Next week, they'll be back at home. 5 of their first 6 games, actually 6 of their first 7 are at home. They'll have Baylor next week. And then in 2 weeks, the Cornhuskers pay a visit to Lubbock. And then they travel to Manhattan. And the next week they're in Lawrence, Kansas.
Well, that's a stretch there. Number 1 and number 5 back-to-back weeks. Talk about a challenge. And then, of course, 2 weeks after that, 13. So they get into the real meat of their schedule over the next 5 weeks, big time.
You know, they don't get a ton of publicity over there in West Texas. But over the years, particularly the 13 that Spike Dykes was the head coach, and now Mike Leach, you know he's going to do a great job. You might not know the name come to play.
Yeah, I think they play with a chip on their shoulder. I mean, a lot of times they're the kids that didn't get recruited by A&M or Texas, and they want to prove to the University of Texas and Texas A&M that they're capable and they can play. And they play hard. I mean, that old story goes, somebody might be bigger, faster, stronger than you. It doesn't mean they have to outwork you. And I think that's how the Texas Tech kids all approach the game of football. They're not going to get outworked.
And what did Mike Leach tell us yesterday? He said, I have never had a group that's worked any harder and has a better work ethic than this group.
Great chemistry with this football team, exactly.
Texas Tech has now taken a timeout.
Texas Tech called the timeout. Interesting. 35 seconds left. We'll be back.
BMW Z3 Roadster. This is as fun as it gets.
Jason Glenn celebrating now. He was one of the guys that was very outspoken during the week about how large a football game this was. And it turned out to be for 3 quarters. It was warfare.
He answered the bell today, didn't he?
He's warfare of the football variety. 35 seconds left. Here's a delay. And pretty good little cutback. 29 carrying the football is Maurice Harris, a sophomore from Aldine, Texas, and Dr. Pepper South Division, including today's win. Texas A&M goes to 3-1, 1-0 in the conference. Texas has won against Oklahoma State today. They're 3-1 and have the first victory of conference play. They knocked off Oklahoma State and falls to 500 overall. We have another timeout with 22 seconds left. They're really drawing this thing out.
Yeah, if we do, I just can't believe it.
No timeout.
Just substituting personnel a little bit.
Took them a while to set up the football and get the clock cranked up. So now it's moving. And they do not have to snap the football. Mark Farris, another good, solid job. He was in a quarterback battle at the start of the season, start of the fall. He won it. And the 25-year-old, married with a 5-year-old daughter, is turning out to be a heck of a player. In a good one, the Aggies knock off Texas Tech. 33-15 the final. We'll be off next week. Plan to join us October 14th at 12:30 in the East, 9:30 out West for our next Big 12 football telecast. For Dave Lappin and Jim Knox, Drew Goodman saying so long from College Station.
To the Three Amigos, and they are all big.